Welcome back. Today, we'll be exploring the values, history, and unique features of 8 different condition Abraham Lincoln steel pennies and wheat pennies. Some of these coins are surprisingly valuable in today's auction market, even in circulated or dirty condition. Let's get started. First up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny, large date with the S mint mark. This coin is a fan favorite among collectors, and it has an incredible story behind it. And today we'll reveal how much one in dirty condition could be worth in today's auction market. First off, what makes this coin so unique in 1943? Due to World War II copper shortages, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc-coated steel for the Lincoln cent. This was only done for 1 year, making these pennies very special. The S mint mark on this coin means it was minted in San Francisco, and having that large date feature makes it even more desirable among collectors. Now here's a little history. The 1943 steel penny became a 1-year-only phenomenon. Over 1 billion of these coins were produced across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. However, San Francisco minted coins, especially with the large date, are among the rarer finds, especially in good condition, and those in dirty condition often have unique charm and interest for collectors. So what does dirty condition mean? This term refers to coins that may show signs of wear, discoloration, or environmental exposure, but it doesn't necessarily lower the value significantly. In fact, some collectors actually find this condition appealing, as it adds to the historical authenticity of the coin. Now let's talk numbers. So, what's the value of a 1943 S mint large date steel penny in dirty condition? As of today's auction market, these coins can vary in price depending on the level of wear, but you could see them going for around $68,000 on average. However, if there are any unique details or an attractive patina in the dirty look, it might even fetch $70 or more from certain collectors. Rarity. While 1943 steel pennies aren't generally rare, the S mint mark and large date make this specific version more desirable condition. Although we're talking about dirty condition, each penny's appeal varies depending on the type of wear or dirt. Current market demand fluctuates, so coins can sometimes go for more or less depending on collector interest. In recent auctions, steel pennies in similar condition have seen steady interest. For example, a dirty condition 1943 S mint large date sold recently for $73 at an online auction, while some went as high as $75 with a unique patina or particularly interesting look. So, if you've got a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with the S mint mark, large date, and it's in a worn or dirty condition. Next up, the 1943 steel penny with a D mint mark. Even in bad condition, this rare piece has caught the attention of collectors and can still fetch an impressive price on today's auction market. Let's dive into the story behind this unique penny and find out what it's worth. The 1943 steel penny is special because it's one of the few times the U.S. Mint used a different material for pennies. During World War II, copper was in high demand for ammunition, so in 1943, the mint struck pennies out of zinc-coated steel. This unique change in materials created a 1-year-only coin that collectors today are always hunting for. This specific penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark, making it a bit more rare and sought after compared to those minted elsewhere. Now, let's talk about condition. When we say bad condition, we're talking about a coin with noticeable wear and perhaps heavy tarnish or surface damage. Even though it may not look pretty, a 1943 D steel penny in bad condition still has considerable value due to its rarity. So, how does condition affect this coin's value? Well, collectors look for coins in the best shape possible, but for a piece like the 1943 D steel penny, even a heavily worn coin can attract buyers at auction. Let's look at the current auction value. Right now, a 1943 D steel penny in bad condition can typically bring in $80,000 at auction, depending on the severity of its wear. While this might seem low compared to higher-grade coins, keep in mind that this is still solid value for a penny that's over 80 years old and heavily circulated. Screenshots from recent online auction listings showing 1943 D steel pennies with visible wear and prices ranging from $85,000 or more. Now, for those lucky enough to find a mint condition 1943 D steel penny, the prices can go well into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But even in bad condition, this coin holds historical significance and market value. So, Why is this coin so valuable despite its worn appearance? First, it's a relic of World War II and one of the only steel pennies ever produced in US history. Second, the D mint mark shows it was minted in Denver, where fewer were made compared to the Philadelphia mint, making it even more collectible. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1943 D steel penny, especially in worn or bad condition, check out reputable auction platforms like eBay or local coin auctions. Remember, even if a coin looks rough, it's still important to handle it carefully and store it in a protective holder to prevent further damage. That's it for today's spotlight on the 1943 D steel penny. Whether you're a long-time collector or just getting started, this coin is a fascinating piece of American history with surprising value, even in bad condition. If you enjoyed this video, next up, the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, in extra fine condition. This coin is the very first year the Lincoln penny was minted, and its history and rarity make it a true treasure for collectors. Stick around to discover what makes this penny so special and its current auction value. Let's start with the history behind the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin marked a major milestone in US currency, as it was the first to feature the profile of a real person, President Abraham Lincoln. This was done in honor of Lincoln's 100th birthday, and the penny quickly became an iconic piece of American history. The 1909 Lincoln penny was released in two types with the initials VDB on the back, representing designer Victor David Brenner, and without the initials. Today we're focusing on the 1909 penny without the mint mark and without VDB, making it slightly less rare than the VDB variety, but still highly sought after by collectors. Now, why does extra fine condition make a difference in the world of coin collecting? Condition is everything. A coin graded as extra fine, or XF, has strong detail with only slight wear on the high points. This means Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks are still sharply defined, making it a visually appealing piece for collectors. Coins in extra fine condition are valuable because they preserve so much of the original detail, and even small improvements in grade can lead to significant jumps in market value. Alright, let's talk numbers. So how much is a 1909 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition worth in today's auction market? Typically, this coin can sell for around $20 to $50 depending on the specific auction, collector demand, and slight variances in condition. This range can vary. Some higher-end XF condition coins with better eye appeal have been known to bring in even higher bids, especially if collectors are eager to complete their early Lincoln penny collections. So, what makes the 1909 wheat penny so valuable? First, it's the very first of the Lincoln pennies, which automatically gives it historic and collectible significance. It's also over a century old, which adds to its appeal. Collectors are drawn to this penny because it represents the beginning of one of the most popular series in American coinage. Finding one in such a well-preserved state as extra fine is challenging, which is why these pennies are often in high demand. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1909 Lincoln penny in extra fine condition, here are a few tips. First, consider having it professionally graded. A certified grade helps potential buyers trust the condition and authenticity of the coin, which can boost its auction value. Also, keep an eye on reputable auction sites like Heritage Auctions or eBay to gauge market trends. Prices can fluctuate, so knowing the current market is key for both buyers and sellers. So there you have it, the 1909 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition. This coin may not have a mint mark or the VDB initials, but it's still a highly valued piece of American history that any collector would be proud to own. Next up, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny that might not look perfect at first glance, but it holds significant value in today's auction market. This particular penny features an S mint mark and has a black color shade, all while being in dirty condition. Let's explore why this penny is still valuable and what you can expect if you find one of these in your collection. Before we dive into the value, let's take a moment to understand the historical significance of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. During World War II, there was a shortage of copper, so the US Mint switched to using steel for pennies in 1943. But in 1944, they returned to the traditional copper except for a small batch of steel pennies that slipped through the cracks. These 1944 steel pennies, especially those with an S Mint mark from the San Francisco Mint, are very rare. However, this particular penny doesn't have the steel error. Instead, it's a standard copper penny minted in San Francisco with an S mint mark. But the real intrigue here is its black color shade and dirty condition, which still make it a coin of interest. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. As you can see, this 1944 S mint mark penny has a black color shade, which is often the result of environmental exposure, moisture, or tarnish over time. It's also in dirty condition, which typically lowers a coin's value compared to pristine examples. Coins in dirty condition are usually not as desirable to collectors since dirt, grime, and tarnish can hide important details. But don't worry, this penny is still quite valuable for other reasons. So, what's the auction value for a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark in dirty condition and with that black color shade in today's auction market? You can expect this penny to fetch between $42 to $47 on average, depending on the severity of the dirt and tarnish, and the level of collector interest at the time of sale. While this might not be the highest value penny in pristine condition, it's still a respectable price considering its rarity and the fact that it's part of the iconic 1944 series. Coins like this always attract collectors who appreciate the historical aspect and uniqueness, even if it's a little worn. So, what makes this penny so valuable despite its imperfections? First, it's the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny, which was the first year after the war, and coins from this period are highly collectible due to their historical context. Second, the S mint mark from San Francisco is rarer than other 1944 pennies, especially compared to the Philadelphia Mint. While it's not as rare as some other era coins, the 1944 S penny still holds its own because of its significance in the Lincoln penny series. If you're thinking about buying or selling a 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark, here are some tips to maximize your chances of a successful transaction. First, remember, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value even further. Leave it as is. Just make sure it's kept in a protective holder to preserve its condition. Additionally, it's a great idea to get the coin professionally graded. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can help confirm its authenticity and condition, giving you more confidence when selling or purchasing this rare piece. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with S mint mark is displayed on a table under soft lighting to highlight its details. Even though this 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with an S mint mark isn't in perfect condition, it's still a fantastic find that holds value due to its rarity and historical significance. Next up, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark from the Denver Mint, found in dirty condition. Even though it might not be pristine, this coin still holds value in today's auction market. Let's dive into what makes it unique and how much you could expect it to sell for. First, a little background. The 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of the beloved Wheat series, which was minted between 1909 and 1958. These pennies were iconic in American coinage and are still highly collectible today. The 1953 edition, particularly with the D mint mark, had a significant mintage, but in recent years, its value has been rising among collectors. This particular coin was minted in Denver, and while it isn't the rarest of Lincoln Wheat pennies, collectors prize it for its connection to the era and its distinct characteristics, including that classic wheat reverse. Now, let's talk about the condition. This 1953 D Wheat penny is in dirty condition, not quite the shining example that some collectors look for, but it has its own charm. Coins in dirty or worn condition typically show signs of circulation and environmental wear, which can affect their appeal and, of course, their market value. When it comes to dirty condition, it can be tempting to clean the coin to try to improve its appearance, but we strongly advise against that. Cleaning can damage the coin's surface and actually lower its value. So, how much is this 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with a D mint mark worth in today's auction market in its current dirty condition? This coin generally sells for $35,000 at auction. While that might seem modest, it's still a decent value given its wear and lower grade condition. Coins like this 1953 penny are commonly found in collections and coin rolls, making it relatively accessible to collectors of all levels. But if you're looking to sell, every penny adds up, especially if you have a few of these older wheat pennies stashed away. So, what makes the 1953 D penny worth collecting, even in this condition? Well, for one, it's part of the classic Lincoln Wheat series, which is a favorite among coin enthusiasts. and since it was minted over 70 years ago, each one of these coins has a bit of history attached to it. Additionally, while millions were minted, the passage of time has made these coins harder to find in circulation. Even in a worn or dirty condition, these pennies have appealed to collectors who value the legacy of Lincoln Wheat pennies. If you're planning on selling or collecting a 1953 Lincoln Wheat penny with D mint mark, here are some tips. First, avoid cleaning the coin as it could decrease its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder to prevent any further wear or tarnish. Next, if you're serious about building a collection, consider getting a range of Lincoln Wheat pennies from various years and conditions. Even though this 1953 penny may not be highly valuable, a complete collection of wheat pennies can be an impressive and rewarding set to own. Next up, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark, found in very fine condition. This is one of the iconic pennies from the Lincoln Wheat series, and it can fetch an impressive price in today's auction market. So if you've got one of these tucked away, you'll want to stay tuned. First, let's set the stage. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of the legendary Wheat series, minted from 1909 to 1958. These pennies feature the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and wheat stalks on the reverse, making them a timeless symbol in American coinage. In 1949, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 217 million of these pennies without mint mark, which was standard for pennies made in Philadelphia. While it's a relatively high mintage, pennies from this year are still highly collectible, especially in very fine condition. Now, let's talk about condition for this video. We're focusing on the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny in very fine condition. What does that mean exactly in coin collecting? Very fine refers to a coin with clear details that show some wear from circulation but remain sharp overall. You can see Lincoln's facial features, the lettering, and the wheat stalks on the reverse side with minimal signs of damage. Condition can make a big difference in a coin's value, and a very fine 1949 penny is considered a good find. Higher grades like extremely fine or uncirculated are even more valuable, but coins in very fine condition are still desirable to collectors. Alright, the big question, what's this 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark worth in today's auction market? If it's in very fine condition, you could expect this coin to sell for around $25.50 to $1.50. It might not sound like a lot, but that's actually a strong value for a circulated penny from the 1940s. If you happen to have several 1949 wheat pennies, even in lower conditions, they can add up nicely if you sell them as a collection or by the roll. And who knows? Sometimes unique qualities or small errors can make a coin stand out to collectors, potentially increasing its value. So why do collectors love the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny? Even if it isn't the rarest, well, the Wheat penny series is a classic, and each year tells part of the series' story. Coins from the post-World War II era, like the 1949 edition, reflect a period of economic growth in the United States. Plus, these pennies are becoming harder to find in circulation. Even common dates like the 1949 penny in very fine condition are less available in everyday pocket change, which boosts their collectability. If you're lucky enough to own a 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny, here are some tips for collecting and selling. First, store it in a protective holder to prevent further wear, especially if you plan on selling it. For collectors, building a set of wheat pennies from various years can be a rewarding experience, and the 1949 penny is an essential part of any complete collection. And if you're planning to sell, do some research on recent auction prices to make sure you're setting a fair starting bid. Even if you have multiple 1949 pennies, their value can add up, especially if you sell them as part of a small collection. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark, featuring a large date and found in fine condition. Whether you're a collector or just curious, you might be surprised by what this coin is worth in today's auction market, even if it's seen a bit of wear. Let's jump right in. First, let's look back at 1950. The Lincoln Wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, with the wheat stalks on the reverse side symbolizing American prosperity. By 1950, these pennies were everyday currency, but they remain highly collectible for their historic value and classic design. In 1950, the Philadelphia Mint produced nearly 272 million of these pennies. While this was a large mintage, demand among collectors has kept the 1950 wheat penny a popular choice, especially in well-preserved conditions. So, what does it mean for this penny to be in fine condition in coin grading? Fine condition is somewhere between well circulated and very well preserved. A fine condition penny has visible details with noticeable wear, but you can still clearly make out Lincoln's profile, the wheat stalks on the reverse, and the date. Coins in fine condition are more affordable for collectors compared to higher grades, making them a great way to start a collection without breaking the bank or right. The big question: what's the value of this 1950 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition on today's auction market in this grade? You could expect this coin to sell for around $0.15 to $0.40 at auction. While it's not a high-value item compared to rare varieties, this 1950 wheat penny still holds appeal for its historical significance. And remember, if you have a larger collection or a full roll of 1950 wheat pennies, you may be able to get more for the whole lot. So, why do collectors seek out the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny? Even if it's not considered rare, this coin is part of the iconic Lincoln wheat series, which remains popular with collectors due to its history and timeless design. Many collectors aim to build full-date and mint-mark sets of wheat pennies, and 1950 is an essential year for a complete collection. Plus, wheat pennies like these are becoming more difficult to find in circulation, which adds to their charm and collectability. Even a coin in fine condition carries a lot of historical value. If you own a 1950 wheat penny in fine condition, here are some tips to keep in mind. First, consider storing it in a coin holder to prevent further wear, especially if you're planning on selling it down the line. Coins that are kept in good condition can retain their value or even increase over time. When it comes to selling, you might consider grouping it with other wheat pennies to appeal to collectors looking for multiple dates. And if you're building a collection, this coin is a fantastic piece to start with. So there you have it, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition. It might not be the rarest coin, but it's a piece of American history and a solid find for any collector, and who knows over time. Next up, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark, specifically in good condition. If you've come across one of these coins and are wondering how much it's worth in today's auction market, you're in the right place. Before we get into the value, let's take a quick look at the history behind the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. The Lincoln wheat cent was first introduced in 1909, and by 1957 it was nearing the end of its run, as the Lincoln memorial design would soon replace the wheat stalks in 1959. This final year of the wheat penny series is one that collectors often seek, especially when it comes to specific mint marks and variations. In 1957, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 1 billion Lincoln wheat pennies, making this a high mintage coin. However, its historical significance and recognizable design still make it a sought-after item for collectors. So what exactly does good condition mean in coin grading and coin collecting? Good is one of the lower grades but still holds some value. Coins in good condition show heavy wear, but all major design elements are still visible. You'll notice that Lincoln's portrait is worn, but his features are still distinguishable. The reverse side with the wheat stalks and the date remain readable, though worn. A coin in good condition is still a solid find, and collectors often target these for their affordability compared to higher graded specimens now. Let's talk about the value of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition. Based on recent auction data, you can expect this coin to sell for anywhere between $0.30 to $0.50 at auction, depending on demand and the specific details of the coin. Even though this is not a rare coin, it is still part of the Lincoln wheat penny series, which is highly collectible. A good condition coin can still attract attention at auction, especially from collectors looking to complete their sets or add to their collections. So why is the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny special? Well, as the last year of the wheat series, it holds a place in history. Many collectors focus on completing their sets with coins from each year of the series, and the 1957 penny is a key part of that. Even in good condition, it's a coin that will be a valuable piece in a wheat penny collection. And let's not forget the large date variety is the more common of the two 1957 dates. Still, it's an essential coin for any collector. If you have a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition, here are some tips to maximize its value. First, store your coin properly in a protective holder to avoid further wear. Coins with minimal additional damage and those kept in good condition tend to retain their value better over time. If you're looking to sell it, you may want to consider listing it with other wheat pennies from different years. A collection can often fetch more than a single coin, especially when bundled with other pieces in decent condition. So, there you have it, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition. While it's not the rarest coin, it's still an important piece of American history and a fantastic option for collectors looking to complete their sets. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more coin content. Have you come across any 1957 wheat pennies in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting.